If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room. Welcome back to the GMS show. I am your host with the smokes. How y'all doing today, man? Welcome back for another show, man. You know we start out every podcast with peace, love, positive energy, good vibes, passing it forward, hoping that you pass it along as well. You know we keep that green mind state. It's Monday, so you know it's back to the regular week, back to the shows, back to keeping you updated on things that's going on out here in this world, man. Shout out to the GMS fam. I see you, King Lukey. I see you, Willie Rouse. Shout out to my members. You know what I'm saying? We got members out here. Make sure when you come in here, you hit the like button. And if you do want to become a member, just hit the join button right below this video, and you can become a member of the GMS show with 3 different tiers, man. We got level 1, 2, and 3. Become a fan member, man. Appreciate y'all, man. We got to get to it because we got some things to talk about today. Now, GMS fam, some things that I need to discuss because they deal with things back here at home in Minnesota. Now, for those who obviously know, PnB Rock was senselessly killed in LA at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles because there are countless amounts of jack boys and people with no common decency for human life that live out in LA, apparently, because anytime somebody is out with their jewels or in a nice car in an area that doesn't seem to suit that level of tax bracket, people find a way to sneak their way in and try to go the easy route, and it often ends with somebody losing their life, which ultimately happened to PnB Rock. Now, when this happened, of course, you know, Twitter is the number one place for investigation. Like, if something happens, especially when a rapper gets shot, people immediately go and try to dig and find out info. You know, of course, it starts with the people in that city, and then it just expands, and people start going back and tracking everything. So people went on social media and they found a back and forth between PnB Rock and Southside Chieff, who reigns here in Minneapolis. Also is part of and owns the podcast out here, the local podcast that is making a lot of noise, live on Lake Street, hosted by my guy Jake Fairclough. Shout out Jake. But a couple years ago, I think it was a couple years ago. Yeah, pretty much a couple years ago. After the George Floyd incident happened, or murder happened, there were some pictures circulating on the internet. There was a bunch of, videos and all types of stuff. And one picture that made its rounds that went viral was of a burning building. Now, a photographer from here in Minneapolis took that picture, but behind the scenes, Southside Chieff and the photographer had a conversation. They spoke business, and ultimately the image was something that Southside took for himself and made t-shirts of, or made it part of, his brand. And what happened with that was, out of nowhere, PnB Rock came up with these shirts that had the same picture on it, the same burning building from Minneapolis, and with the caption, "My city needs something." So in hindsight, of course it was something that, clearly people were, kind of playing off of everything that was happening here in Minneapolis with George Floyd, but also it was a certain way for people to capitalize. And when that happened, beef ensued. Internet beef, though. It wasn't anything of, these guys actually coming to blows or, coming face to face. But, they exchanged messages. They were on Instagram Live a few times. Things that you can find on the internet. But when that happened, this footage of their Instagram Live resurfaced. And with that being resurfaced and people investigating the murder of PnB Rock, it got out so quickly, and somebody posted it and put PnB's alleged killer warns him, blah, blah, blah. Even said it was a LA goon, which it was like, oh man, like they just stamped him with. And at first, I saw a couple posts and whatnot. I was like, oh man, they really reaching. They trying to grab whatever for the clicks, right? But then it went everywhere. I'm talking about everywhere. Every blog, every outlet on social media, World Star, all these big hip-hop blogs on Twitter and Instagram are posting up Southside Chieff, basically putting a target on his back, saying that he was the killer. Even so much so that it got to academics, to where academics had to clear his name. But first, Southside had to go. He went on a podcast himself, if you guys want to check it out. And go follow him, and also go follow and subscribe to Live on Lake Street. Very, 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 very well done podcast platform for Minnesota music, period. Minnesota music, entertainment, sports, all that. They've interviewed so many people, and they've done an amazing job. So I need to get that disclaimer out there before we go to this. But Southside went and did an interview. He talked about it, but academics got wind of it, and he went on his he went on his YouTube to talk about it. And this is what he had to say.
To say what I said or what I did, let's do this, and we put it on the record. Whatever shit you talked about PnB with, and you made a fucking coin, I don't care if you talk about that nigga, you can say RIP PnB, nigga. You mention that nigga name in your podcast, your clip. Let's see what that revenue is. I put the revenue that anything I had to do with it, stream, YouTube video, podcast shit, I put it up, and we all donate the money. This is if y'all really care about that, but really, y'all niggas don't give a fuck about shit. Y'all just be trying to see if y'all can pick on niggas, and y'all know Big Ack ain't the nigga to pick on no more. Y'all niggas know, Big Ack ain't the nigga to pick on no more. Act mad aggressive with his shit. I'm ready for some shit. Y'all don't want to do that, so let's just keep it moving, bro. Let's just keep it moving. Okay?
Act be drunk as hell on this shit.
A nigga started be like, yo, Act, I put up one clip, y'all niggas told me I'm making money over this shit. Now I'm about to get in y'all pockets. What's up? Who else talked about PnB Rock? What's up? I put up every podcast right now. Everybody 3 times, whatever y'all think I made up. Make money off a nigga who the past. Southside Chieff. Y'all nigga be in the chat with us, dog. This nigga right here ain't kill him, though. Like, come on, hold on. This Southside Chieff, that nigga be in the chat, he donate to me, bro. Like, this nigga didn't kill him. Bro, I forgot. Why were they beefing again? They were beefing over, like, I think he thought, like, PnB, like, I forgot what it was. Like, he stole some shit from them. I forgot what it was. Bro, he ain't kill him. Like, I know y'all been on Instagram and getting, like, brainwashed. This nigga did not kill him. Nigga, if you think the nigga who killed him is going to be laying down mad comfortable talking shit to him, you tweaking, bro. Like, look.
When I pulled up to Mecca Sounds, you wasn't on shit.
This is their Instagram live between each other.
Nigga, this Southside Chieff, that nigga, that nigga donated to us all the time. He's a chat nigga, bro. It was over a t-shirt. Like, bro. It's like, come on, dog.
I only came on here just to bid off you, bro. You really my bid. What's up,
Nigga,
man?
when I came to Mecca Sounds, you wasn't on shit.
You came to where?
Chrisean Studio, nigga.
Who the fuck? Oh, you talking about hitmaker shit?
Oh, you talking about him making shit?
Hey, by the way, I'm gonna salute to Southside Chieff, even though I getting at him, bro. Like, he not even on that nigga. I'm glad that I was wondering if he was gonna be on that cloud chasing shit and act like he did, because obviously he had nothing to do with it. But bro, like, I don't know if it was him or his people. They hit me like, yo, bro, like, you know we ain't had nothing to do with that. Like, could you let people know, bro? Like, I'm glad that he not trying to cloud chase and act like he did some shit that clearly he ain't do. And also, like, bro, like, niggas love PnB, bro. Like, niggas was be flaming you right now. Like, my nigga from Minnesota, bro, like, he's lit out there. Like, bro, like, we can't just point the murder at everybody.
Point blank, period. That's all. That right there is all I wanted to show you with that, regarding that right there. Because he got the big cosign from ACT. And
the nigga
even without the cosign, just clearing his name, period, is the biggest goal out of this whole thing. Because that's not anything to play with. And not even clearing his name in the sense where law enforcement is looking for him, because that's clearly not the case. I know they're looking for somebody out in LA or from LA. But as far as like the people on the internet or people out in real life, regular citizens who may feel like they want to do something on behalf of one of their favorite artists, that's not the type of target that you want on your back. So I'm glad that, you know, all around, you know, he was able to clear his name and able to tell his side of everything, which, you know, in reality, they were working together to try to make something happen and try to make some money and bring some attention to the city and to, you know, other things that were more positive. And it sucks because it takes nowadays people to try to beef or come up with some type of controversy to try to get clicks or to try to get some people to notice their art or whatever it is that they're doing. And it's a sad world that we live in, man. It's a game that we got to play, and it's fucked up. But, you know, when it comes to serious shit like this, you know what I'm saying? You got to step back from the entertainment side of things, and you got to come back to reality. So I'm glad he was able to clear his name with that shit. And I'm glad that, you know, they can continue to move on and thrive out here in these streets, man. Shout out to Southside. Shout out to Jake. Shout out to Live on Lake Street. Now, I got to bring this up, man, because one thing I cannot stand is toxic relationships. Toxic relationships are the worst things to witness, watch, experience, anything that you can fucking name. Shout out to Willie Rouse for the 50 in the super chat, man. I appreciate you, man. Big supporter, man. Big supporter. I really appreciate you, Willie. And he's a GMS member, man. GMS fan member, man. I appreciate that so much, man. Thank you. Now, toxic relationships often are displayed for the public. So if you go on social media, whether it be Facebook or wherever it is, and you see somebody posting some shit about they current partner or they ex or whatever, and they just talking about all the fucked up shit, those are signs of toxicity. And when I talk about the face of toxic relationships right now, I have to speak on Blueface and his girl Chrisean Rock. Listen, man, we have seen these two enter the realm of tabloids giving their physical altercations, whether it be her punching on him or him punching on her. Even so much so that it's gotten to the family members. Chrisean ended up putting hands on his mom and his sister. And I'm like, listen, man. The most important, the thing about this shit is people watch it and people give it energy. People feed it. People feed into this shit. And they put it in a chokehold and they watch the destruction happen instead of giving any type of real constructive criticism, because people want to see this shit continue. But it also shows you how many people out there are in toxic relationships because of how people pay attention to this shit and how many people talk about this shit. So here we have Blueface and his girl Chrisean right here, accompanied by Chrisean's family, her dad being the one right here. And this is what took place. Watch this. Out of nowhere, Pops punches him. Wow. Right? Pops punched him. Blueface went in for a few hits, but nothing really landed. Watch in slow motion. Blah! Punch fire out Blueface. Now here's another thing about toxic relationships. You think you're so deep in love with somebody that you'll go through hell and back with somebody and even go against your own family. As you can see, her dad took off on Blueface, but here she is pushing her family back away from him. Somebody that's already beat her up in public and on video. I can understand. See, that's another thing about this, man. Some people were talking about this, and I seen what they were saying about the dad and how he didn't have to do that, or he sucker punched me, this and that. If I was sitting at home and I'm watching videos of this random nigga putting hands on my daughter, trust me, there's one in the tank waiting for him. I don't give a fuck how much time has passed. I don't care about none of that. If I've never seen you in person and all I've seen of you and my daughter is you putting hands on her and her putting hands on you, I don't give a fuck who started shit. I'm taking off on you. And I'm calling my daughter a dumb. You know what? Let me calm down because it isn't my actual daughter. But I will be going the fuck in. I will be going the fuck in. Now, what happened was her dad walked away, right? And then Blueface ran in and got him with that. Laid him back with that. People were saying he got knocked out, but he didn't get knocked out. He just got knocked down. And all around, just a weird ass situation. Look at this slow-mo. Watch it run up. Hand already fully cocked back. Why didn't nobody see that? Nobody saw him or heard him running up. Anyway, the bigger message here is get the fuck away from somebody who is trying to cause you harm. I don't care who it is. And I know it may be harder for some people out here because, you know, in Chrisean's situation, she feels, oh, I'm not just with a man, I'm with somebody who's famous and got bread. So it's even more harder for her to try to skip the fuck away from somebody who might be taking care of her. But that's prime example of how toxic shit continues to stay in its toxic space when you don't get away from that shit. And you don't have to be famous or rich to be in a toxic relationship. That's one thing she doesn't understand. A regular nigga with money can manipulate your mind to make you think that you need him or her. The first signs of it, man, get the hell out of Dodge. I'm telling you, it's not gonna end. The only way it's gonna end is with one or two dying. Like, you only go so far in a toxic relationship until there's a crime of passion that takes place. And it usually happens with people that have repeatedly gone back and forth, physically assaulting each other, all types of domestics, and now getting the family involved. I've seen the trickle effect happen all the fucking time. It starts with them two, then the family gets involved, then after the family, after you separate yourself, because now I guarantee you her dad not messing with her right now. Her family that came over to talk to her, they don't mess with her right now. They all mad. They all trying to ignore her. Now, look, you don't have nobody. You're going to think about this while you sitting up there the next time this nigga slaps you in your face. You're going to be sitting there like, man, I wish I could call my brother. I wish I could call my sister or my cousin or my mom or my dad, but I can't because last time I called them, I was helping my boyfriend get them off of him instead of fucking letting them beat the brakes off the nigga. Then her mind's gonna start turning. It's gonna start going crazy. She's gonna be depressed or mentally fucked up, sitting in a room by herself with a busted lip, and now she want revenge with nobody around but Blueface. And guess what? You can only punch on somebody for so long till they grab some shit and lay you the fuck out. And that's what I feel is sincerely going to happen. The next few times we see a fucking headline or a trending topic that has the Blueface tag or Chrisean Rock, somebody might be dealing with life-threatening injuries. I'm telling you right now, mark my words. Keep that toxic shit out of here. Speaking of assaults, Tory Lanez and August Alsina, that's right, Jada Pinkett Smith's love diddly. She got the love diddlies for August Alsina. He got the beats put on him by Tory Lanez. Now, apparently they were at a concert somewhere and Tory Lanez was putting his hand out to dap August Alsina. August Alsina walked right past him, didn't acknowledge him, and that's what set off the disrespect and the physical blows. Now, August took to his Instagram to post a picture of himself with a bloodied lip and a caption that reads, as I'm exiting the building after the show last night, a 4'11" size leprechaun ran down on me with 8 oversized security niggas, whom I greeted each individually upon their walk up as they tried to press me. Whole time I'm one deep, no security. Tory continues to ask with a broken ego why I didn't dap him up. I go on to tell him I was a fan of him and didn't understand him speaking on my business publicly in the past because I don't know him or even met him until last night. So when he spoke, it caught me off guard because of his past actions. I assumed he didn't like me, that's all. Not to mention with my history of health and condition just recently overcoming being paralyzed, my doctor directed me not to compromise my health while out on the road and shake as less hands as possible due to corona and monkeypox. What? Never any disrespectful words were exchanged, so I was a bit confused at how somehow he turned himself up with anger after hitting a blunt laced with cocaine, obviously. Whoa. I heard the fizzle. He said he heard the fizzle. And he snuck me when I turned my head to move to the side amongst all his antsy moving and to keep an eye on the endless niggas that was with him surrounding me. August Alsina got the beats and got in front of the story, which nowadays you have to do. You have to do that nowadays. If he didn't get out in front of that story, who knows how I would have led off. But luckily, Tory Lanez is in some hot water already with social media, given the Meg Thee Stallion case. Even though there's a lot of people who do back Tory Lanez and do wholeheartedly believe that he did not shoot Meg Thee Stallion. You still have a large amount of people on social media who think that. So when immediately after they heard this story, the first thing they did was try to correlate the Meg Thee Stallion situation with this one by saying, oh, y'all niggas saying Tory didn't shoot Meg, but he went and assaulted a nigga because he didn't dap him up. He has little man syndrome. Which, okay, you can say that, but I'm gonna let you guys judge for yourself. Video has been released. It has now been released to the public. Somebody who was backstage and of course had their camera rolling got the exact moment August Alsina walked straight past a handout Tory Lanez with his fist like, hey, what's up? Now watch how this interaction happened and you tell me how you would react if you were Tory Lanez. Check this out. Tory's a little taken back. Look, just watch. He just kept walking. Now, it does look like Tory's with quite a lot of security. So somebody got the aftermath. Somebody got the aftermath of the situation, okay? Which was Tory Lanez walking away and apparently giving the signs that he had just put the beats on somebody. Listen. Watch this.
Hey, I wish you would have got that.
I did get it.
You did? Damn.
Don't do it. You already shot Maggie.
You knocked his ass out, Tory? You knocked him out? Tory said he just knocked out his Alsina ass right out. One punch crunched him, Tory. He said one punch crushed his ass.
One punch crushed his ass. Now, I'm going to just say this, man. Because I'm not going to put it past Tory Lanez that he has little man syndrome. And little man syndrome, the one big thing about that, pun intended, is that they want to prove that they aren't a bitch. They want to prove that they are tough. They want to prove that you're just not going to look at my little self and think that you can just punk me. And this is actually the perfect example of little man syndrome. A man didn't dap you up and you approached him about it and you ended up putting hands on him because he didn't dap you up. It could have been ignored. You could have took it as, hey, just another person that is on the Tory Lanez hate train who don't fuck with me because of shit that people say about me or the rumors or whatever. I mean, look, that's how I would move if I was Tory Lanez, given the fact that I'm still under a microscope. But I don't think he moves that way. I don't think he really understands that. And a lot of people don't when they have a lot of notoriety, when they have a lot of money, when they have a lot of fame. Certain things cloud their judgment. In that moment, he's got his hand out. He's thinking to himself, I'm Tory Lanez. Here's August Alsina. Let me dap him up. And then when you don't get the dap up and you're in front of people, and then on top of that, somebody reacted. Nobody likes when somebody in the background reacts. Nobody wants to hear the, ooh, damn. Nobody want to be like, shit, hell no. Don't nobody want to hear that. It just makes the whole situation worse. So you got to sit there with your hand still out looking like, what the fuck? Even some girl on the side walked up and shook his hand like, I'll shake it for you. I'll shake it. You look a little stressed, a little pressed about him not shaking your hand. Let me shake your hand so you can at least get that part. Now, I don't agree with that because there's a saying, man, never call yourself a man if you can't control your emotions. Never call yourself a man if you cannot control your emotions. And I stand by that. If you cannot control your emotions, you are on the spectrum. And that's all I'm going to say. You're on the spectrum. I can't go any further than that. You know, some people be way too sensitive, but you're on the spectrum. Figure that shit out. Speaking of the spectrum, oh my God. Also, sorry for the skipping, man. They're trying to get me out of here every time I bring up a certain topic or a certain video. They probably gonna turn this whole stream off once I play this shit. But I saw the craziest shit. First of all, I'm gonna play that last actually. Let me play that last. I'm gonna talk about this next. Let me just get this out the way. So as y'all remember, I did or maybe some of y'all weren't there or maybe seen it after, but I reviewed and I talked about the conversation on Fox Soul between Dr. Umar, Dewan B, Cynthia G, and Hope Giselle. I've got a lot of comments under that video regarding how I feel about Hope Giselle and Hope's position in that whole debate and why Hope shouldn't have been there in the first place. But I was waiting for Dr. Umar to really respond and say something about it because I knew that he had no idea, especially how he was speaking and the words he was using, that he had no idea that Hope Giselle was trans. So after that happened, Hope, of course, was in Hope's feelings and doing what the stereotypical defense mechanism for somebody of that community to do, and that was to try to go on a tyrant or a rant about Dr. Umar and insinuating that he had sexual desires for Hope. That's very typical. And it's the weirdest shit in the world to go to that as a defense mechanism, being that you're an activist and that you go around talking for a living and making points. So you can't make a solid point, just like Cynthia couldn't make a solid point about why Dr. Umar was wrong or what he was what y'all were talking about was valid, or if there is or why there's not a war on black men in America. You went straight to trying to emasculate another man because you're already there. The person that was sitting there talking about what black men should have been doing and what they haven't accomplished, acting like you weren't a black man at one point and just exempt yourself from responsibility as a black man because you wanted to become a black woman. You have no fucking right to sit there and talk about what black men should and shouldn't be doing and what they haven't done and what they've been doing and all types of. You have no fucking right unless you are speaking from a man's perspective. And I guarantee you, if I asked you were you speaking from a man's perspective, you tell me no. You're not finna confuse me. I refuse to be confused. Damn, if I made shirts like that, they call me all type. They call me anti-LGBT, all that shit. Knowing goddamn well I'm not. But when it comes to this fucking debate, I refuse to be confused. Amen? Now check out what Dr. Umar had to say on the situation.
As Cynthia I'm not even going to speak on her. I'm not even going to. All I'm going to say is this.
I'm gonna hide the video.
I hope my sister gets some deep spiritual therapy because she was hurt by a black man in her life.
What'd I say?
I hope my sister gets some deep spiritual therapy because she was hurt by somebody, and a black man hurt Sister Cynthia real bad.
Factoid.
And I love my sister. I love my sister Cynthia. Cynthia, I'm not gonna say nothing against you. Yes, you were mean and nasty, condescending and rude. You hate black men, but I love you anyway because you are still a beautiful African queen. Do you hear me, Cynthia G? You know what the G stand for? The G stand for go get some psychotherapy. Cynthia G. The G stands for go get some psychotherapy. I love my sister Cynthia.
Immediately.
I love my sister Cynthia. I ain't gonna say nothing to disrespect that beautiful African woman. But as a therapist, as a doctor of clinical psychology, I'm referring Cynthia G to the Association of Black Psychologists for some post-traumatic relationship dysfunction disorder. I said post-traumatic relationship dysfunction disorder. I said post-traumatic relationship dysfunction disorder. Post-traumatic romance disorder. She just need some therapy to process the
This deserves the
trauma.
Lil Wayne meme.
She just needs somebody to help her process the trauma. But that's my sister, and I love her. I'm not gonna disrespect.
A bug-eyed bimbo.
Because if I would have knew that I was on a panel with a surgically altered black man, if I would have knew that I was on a panel with a surgically altered black man, my conversation might have been different. My analysis might have been different. My critique might have been different. My insight might have been different.
Say it.
You want to bring a surgically altered male to the conversation? No worries. Because intellectually, nobody can handle me. Intellectually, nobody can handle me. So if you want to bring a surgically altered male, no disrespect, but don't you think you have a right to tell me? Do your guests have a right to be informed? You know, that's all I'm saying. Don't have me thinking I'm talking to a woman. Don't have me thinking I'm talking to a woman. Don't have me think I'm talking to a woman. That's all. No disrespect. Just let me know. Hope Gazelle, I ain't got nothing against you, bruh. Hope Gazelle, I ain't got nothing against you, bruh. Hope Gazelle, I ain't got nothing against you, bruh. I'm simply saying I had a right to know. That's all. I'm not going to disrespect you. I have no interest in disrespecting you. I'm just saying I had a right to know. So brothers and sisters.
That is fucking hilarious. I don't care what nobody says. That's fucking hilarious. I have a right to know. No, really, he got blindsided. He got blindsided as well as Dewan did because they knew, Fox Soul knew what they were doing by having Hope as somebody part of that panel to talk about black men in the war on black men that, you know, apparently Hope doesn't relate to because Hope feels like a woman. And Hope identifies as a woman. So when Hope talks about black women as a whole, she refers to them as we. And when she talks about black men as a whole, she refers to them as y'all. Now, I'm not going to argue pronouns and all the other shit. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to say I refuse to be confused. And Hope can be a part of whatever conversations Hope wants to be a part of when it comes to the well-being of black people. Because when it comes to being an activist, there's no gender or sexual orientation when it comes to just giving a fuck about black people. You can care about black people and you can want to see the best and want the best and try to help to get the best for black people as a whole. But when it comes to specifics, like the war on black men or anything that black men have contributed for black people in history, all the way up until now, you do not have the right to speak on that shit. And I stand by that shit. Now, one more thing I want to do before I get out of here. I want to show y'all something, man. You know, we getting close, man. People been voting. People been trying to get they favorite politicians, their state politicians elected. And, you know, this is the time of year when people start putting out their dumbass campaign videos. And Republican Linda Paulson is running for office, and this is her campaign video out of Utah. Check this out. Check Check this dumb shit out.
Hey, Utah District 12, listen up right here. There's a new name on the ballot for the Senate this year. My name is Linda Paulson, Republican and awesome. Love God and family and the Constitution. I tried to get another conservative to run. Nobody could do it, so I'm getting it done. I'm pro-religious freedom, pro-life, pro-police, the right to bear arms and the right to free speech. I want less government control and regulation, want to stop and expose all political corruption where there's integrity, morality, accountability. Government programs should lead to self-sufficiency and support traditional family as the fundamental unit of society. But in schools, they're pushing for new beliefs. And just to clarify this, because there's some who can't define this, as a female adult, I know what a woman is.
This bitch had to sneak in a little bit of racism, just a little bit, just a tad bit of racism. Why not just a tad bit? We don't want to go full racist. We just want to put a tad bit of racism in there. She had to sneak that shit in at the end. First of all, let me say something to you, Linda Paulson. It is clear what you're all about. I ain't see nah nigga in the commercial. Nah nigga. I ain't see nah nigga in a commercial. And what's crazy about this is that this bitch is rapping, using rap music to try to help promote her campaign. Then you want to talk about where's morality, where's accountability, where's accountability for goddamn slavery? Niggas still trying to bring up. Matter of fact, Bill Maher just the other day just went on his show talking about all the other races who have been enslaved to try to discredit or try to minimize slavery amongst people in America, black people. For years, we have been trying to get brainwashed into believing that that is not a serious topic and that not having not one repercussion for slavery is, we're taught to believe that that shit is just, oh, well, you know, there's no more slaves anymore. You guys are free. You guys are good. So why are you complaining? While we talking about accountability, what else this bitch say? Hold on, she says something else in this video I want to bring up. Less government. You want to have less government? How you want to have less government, but you trying to police niggas? You want less government, but get mad when niggas talk about defund the police. Right after saying you're pro police.
Government control and regulation want to stop and expose all political corruption where
that's it fucking Donald Trump is the reason why these motherfuckers keep talking about exposing political corruption. Man, the government has been corrupt forever, and it still is. Please tell me y'all didn't find out the government wasn't corrupt until Trump came in office. Is anybody that figured that out? Did anybody was like, oh wow, the government is corrupt when Trump got in office? Did anybody feel that or get that epiphany? I don't know what it was about Trump that made people be like, yeah, we're gonna have to weed out the bad ones. What? All this government shit is bullshit. Y'all have to know this. Putting out campaign videos, rapping, talking about all this bullshit, man. These people are weird. Republicans, Democrats, all them niggas is weird. Stop following behind these politicians, man. They are not good for you. They're not. Vote for yourself, goddammit. Go in there and write yourself in the ballots. Imagine if everybody in every state voted for themselves. Yo, we fucked the whole voting game up, and we'd really expose voter fraud. Let's be real. Y'all want to expose voter fraud? Everybody who gets ready to vote for the next president or for anybody in these polls, vote for yourself and see what happens. See how many people actually who actually gets put in the office. I'm telling you, it's going to be the person that they were going to put there anyway. And stop thinking that somebody is going to come in there and save us from corruption. They're not. They're just going to be another added component. Just going to be another person that gets added to the family, ready to do their part in keeping this system going until they can't no more. He said, let's all write in Corey Holcomb. Wouldn't that be some shit? I bet you if Corey went on a campaign, the type of cult following he has, I can guarantee you that he will get some type of he'll get noticed in some areas. If he went on a campaign and just told people to do it for fun, like on some Kanye shit, oh, people will vote him in. You know how many people voted for Kanye on those ballots? Trust me, they'll do the same thing for Corey. I guarantee it. Now, GMS fam, the green room. I'm so glad y'all pulled up on me today. It was a beautiful Monday, a beautiful show, beautiful podcast with some beautiful people. You have all done your due diligence today. And if you haven't, go hit that like button on the way out. Follow me on my socials. I'll follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App today if you are feeling generous. Shout out to Willie Rouse for the 50 in the super chat. I appreciate you so much. Put a GMS in the comments and also leave a comment after this video is done. I would much appreciate it. Leave a comment under this video when the live is done. Hey, yes, sir. Go deeper. Uh-oh. We got some beef sparking up on my Facebook account. Hey, GMS fam, you know I'm going to see y'all Wednesday and I'm going to see y'all Friday. Make sure you go subscribe to the 3Gs podcast, the funniest and the best podcast on Friday nights. Smoke some if you got it. GMS fam, the green room, thank you for showing up. Leave a comment on this video when the live is over. Hit the like button on the way out. Follow me on my socials. I'll follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App if you're feeling generous. Most appreciated. Hug your loved ones. Spread peace, love, positivity. We out.